My parents said no to a $5,000 surgery. My penniless brother sacrificed everything for me. I was 26 years old when I learned exactly how much my life was worth to my parents. $5,000. That was the number. Not 5 million. Not 50,000. Just $5,000. The amount standing between me and a surgery my doctor said I needed within weeks, not months. I remember sitting in my car outside the hospital that day, hands shaking on the steering wheel, staring at the discharge papers like they were written in another language. The words "recommended surgical intervention" were circled in red ink. Underneath it, in smaller letters, "Delay may result in permanent complications." I didn't cry right away. I think a part of me still believed my parents would help. Because parents help, right? That's what they always told me growing up. But what they meant was, parents help the child who makes them look good. And that was never me. Part 2, growing up invisible. In our family, there were 3 of us. My older sister, Claire, the golden child. Me, the quiet middle daughter. And my younger brother, Jake, the problem child. Claire was perfection wrapped in pastel sweaters, straight A's, cheer captain, married young to a guy my parents loved more than they loved oxygen. Jake and I, we were just there. But even between the 2 of us, Jake had it worse. By the time he was 19, he dropped out of community college to work 2 jobs. Not because he was lazy, but because our parents had spent their college fund on Claire's wedding and honeymoon. Jake never complained. He just worked. And worked. And worked. I moved out at 22, renting a tiny apartment, working as a receptionist at a dental clinic. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Until my body betrayed me. Part 3, the diagnosis. It started as pain I could ignore. Then pain I couldn't. Then pain that woke me up screaming at 3 a.m. After months of tests, scans, and dismissive doctors, one surgeon finally sat me down and said, "You need surgery. It's not optional anymore." Insurance covered part of it. But not all. My out-of-pocket cost. $5,000. I didn't have it. I had savings, about $1,200. Rent was due, my car needed repairs, and I was already missing work from the pain. So I did the one thing I swore I'd never do again. I asked my parents for help. Part 4, asking for $5,000. We sat at their kitchen table. Same one where Claire's graduation photos still hung on the wall. Same one where my mom once told me, "You should smile more. Men don't like serious girls." I explained everything calmly. The surgery. The timeline. The risks. My mom frowned. Is it really necessary right now? My dad leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. $5,000 is a lot of money. I stared at him. They had just renovated their kitchen. Granite countertops, new appliances, a wine fridge. But my surgery was a lot. "I'll pay you back," I said quickly. "I can do installments, I'll sign something." My mom sighed dramatically. "We just think you should be more responsible, maybe pick up extra hours." "I can barely stand," I whispered. My dad shrugged. Life is about priorities. And that was it. No hug. No compromise. No concern. Just rejection. Part 5, the call that broke me. I held it together until I got back to my apartment. Then I collapsed on the floor and cried so hard I thought I might actually die. That's when my phone rang. "Jake." "Hey," he said softly. "Mom told me about the surgery." I wiped my face. "Yeah." "How much?" $5,000. Silence. I almost laughed. Jake barely made rent. He was living in a shared basement apartment, driving a car held together by duct tape and prayer. "It's okay," I said quickly. "I'll figure something out." Another pause. Then he said words I'll never forget. "I'll cover it." I sat up. "Jake, no, absolutely not." I already checked my account, he said. I have $3,200 saved. My heart dropped. That's everything you have. I can sell my motorcycle. You love that bike. I love you more. I started crying again. Part 6, The Sacrifice. Within a week, Jake had sold his motorcycle. Not to a friend. Not for a good price. To a stranger who lowballed him. He handed me an envelope with cash and said, "Don't argue, just get better." I tried to refuse. I begged. He shook his head. "You'd do it for me." He wasn't wrong. The surgery was scheduled. I went under anesthesia knowing my brother had given up his freedom, his savings, his safety net, so I could live without pain. My parents, they didn't visit. They didn't call. They sent a text, "Hope everything went well." Part 7, Healing and Seeing Clearly. Recovery was brutal. But it worked. For the first time in years, I could breathe without pain. And for the first time in my life, I saw my family clearly. Claire visited once, with her baby and her designer bag, and complained about traffic. My parents stopped by for 10 minutes, reminded me I should be grateful, and left early for dinner plans. Jake came every day after work. Exhausted. Quiet. Still smiling. That's when something inside me changed. I stopped trying to earn my parents' love. And I started planning. Part 8, The Quiet Revenge begins. 6 months later, I got a job offer. A real one. An office manager position at a medical tech startup, triple my old salary, full benefits, stock options. I didn't tell my parents. I paid Jake back every cent, with interest. Then I helped him enroll in a trade certification program. I cost in nothing. I owed nothing. I just helped, because that's what family does. Part 9, When my parents needed money. The call came a year later. My dad had made a bad investment. They needed help covering a shortfall. Just until things stabilize, my mom said. I listened quietly. Then I said, "I'm sorry, 5,000 is a lot of money." Silence. "I just think you should be more responsible," I added gently. "Life is about priorities." I hung up shaking, but smiling. Part 10, The Ending They Never Expected. Today, Jake owns his own business. I'm pain-free. We spend holidays together, just the two of us sometimes. My parents still don't understand what they lost. But I do. They taught me a lesson worth far more than $5,000. They taught me who my real family was. And they paid for that lesson with everything. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It sneaks up on you. One day you realize you walked up the stairs without holding the railing. Another day you laugh without feeling that familiar ache in your side. Then, suddenly, you notice something deeper has healed too. I stopped flinching when my parents' names showed up on my phone. Not because I was angry anymore, but because they no longer mattered the way they used to. I had become someone new. Someone they didn't know. And that scared them. 12. When success makes people curious. The first sign came through Claire. She texted me out of nowhere. "Mom says you're doing really well lately. Eyes, what's going on?" I stared at the message for a long time. Then typed back, "Just working." It wasn't a lie. I was working, harder, smarter, and with purpose. My job had grown into something real. I managed teams. I signed contracts. My name was on emails people took seriously. Meanwhile, my parents were starting to notice something else. They couldn't control the narrative anymore. 13. The dinner invitation. My mom called a week later. "Your father and I were thinking," she said, in that careful tone she used when she wanted something. "We should all have dinner, like a family." I almost laughed. Family. The word tasted different now. But I agreed. Not for them. For closure. 14. The table turns. Dinner was at their house. Same kitchen, same table. But this time, I didn't feel small. Claire talked about her kids. My dad complained about gas prices. My mom asked polite questions about my job, very polite. Then my dad cleared his throat. "We're proud of you," he said. I waited. "But," he added, "family should support each other." There it was. My mom leaned forward. "We're just in a tight spot. Temporary, you understand." I nodded. "I do." Hope flickered in their eyes. Then I continued. "I understand exactly how temporary help works." Their smiles froze. "When I needed help," I said calmly, "you taught me something important." Jake shifted beside me, jaw tight. "You taught me that love comes with conditions." Silence. 15, saying no without explaining. "I won't be helping," I said. My mom's eyes widened. "After everything we've done for you." I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I simply stood. "I hope things work out," I said, sincerely. Then Jake and I left. No slammed doors. No shouting. Just reality. 16, the fallout. They didn't take it well. I heard through Claire that my mom cried for days. That my dad called me ungrateful. That I'd changed. They were right. I had. And I liked who I became. 17, the real payback. A year later, my parents downsized. Sold the house. Moved into an apartment. No rescue came. And you know what? That was okay. Because revenge wasn't about watching them suffer. It was about not saving them anymore. 18, Jake's moment. Jake finished his certification. Then another. Then started his own company. The day he signed his first major contract, he hugged me and said, "We did this." And he was right. We did. 19, the last call. My mom called once more. Softer this time. "I wish we'd done things differently," she said. I believed her. But wanting forgiveness isn't the same as earning it. "I hope you're well," I replied. And meant it. 20, the ending they'll never understand. Some families break you. Others build you back. Mine did both. But the people who saved me, the ones who sacrificed everything, were never the ones who claimed the title of parent. They were the ones who showed up. And that was enough. Final message. If someone ever asks me what $5,000 taught me, I won't say betrayal. I'll say this. It showed me who loved me when it cost them something. And who only loved me when it didn't. The end.